Hey y'all, getting kind of new into making some of these videos, and I thought it'd be kind of neat to take some time and show some tricks and things that I've found over, in the last few years that have just made my life a lot easier. It seems like when it comes to welding, you got like two spectrums. You got like them cats that are like do like serious welding, and then you got the guys that, like I was, that just didn't know nothing. And I mean, you see TIG and MIG and stick and all this other stuff, and it's really kind of overwhelming because it's just so many options, and if you just don't know nothing, you don't know nothing, and it's kind of embarrassing to go talk to somebody that knows a lot about welding because they're boosting it up on a pedestal like like they're out there saving people's lives or something. But just wanted to throw out something interesting that I had found. So behind me I have so I got your normal little 110 flux welder, and then I got a plasma cutter, and then I also have a stick welder. And so everybody kind of talks junk about the 110 flux welder, and this is a bunch of Harbor Freight stuff because I break and tear up a bunch of stuff. So I mean, you go buy you some blue stuff, and you can tear that up, and maybe you feel better or worse. But anyway, so this is just a 110 outlet flux welder, and then obviously the plasma cutter and the stick welder, it runs on 220. But what I was going to tell you is, so when you buy these 110 flux welders, and there's a bunch of different brands of them, they all come with the little tips, and they pretty much, when you go to buy the wire, you get .030 and .035, which is like the two standard wire sizes, seems like. Well, over the years, I've come to find out that if you go on Amazon, you can actually buy .04 wire, which is it's a little thicker, and you get that .04 wire. Now, what you do have to do is you have to change the tip in this sucker. So this tip the tip that came with it for the .035, it said that it was a .9. I don't know how .9 corresponds with the size diameter of .35, but nevertheless, if you go to buy the tip online to run that bigger wire, the .04 wire, it says it's a 1.0. So you think it would be stamped, the size, but nevertheless, you got to get that 1.0 insert, and then which I'm sure they got a fancy name for it as well. But anyway, and then you could run the bigger wire, and then that .4 wire, it's actually, you got to make sure it's flux coated, and something I didn't even know about till later on. So most people that talk junk about just a normal flux core welder, most of them are running a MIG with the gas tanks. You can get a MIG welder, and you can still buy the flux wire so that you don't even need the gas tanks. So I mean, effectively, you paid, say $900 or whatever you paid for a MIG welder so that you could still run flux wire, which is the same thing this is, but you can get one of these from Harbor Freight for like 150 bucks. Now, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of hate mail, but I normally don't have comments on anyway. But, if you're a big-time welder, which, that probably entails like, 1% of the population. The rest of us, we're just doing average stuff. But I would like to throw out there, this is 3/8 plate. And, I mean, I have a lot of equipment, and we break stuff, tear stuff up. And, I mean, right here, flux core welder. I mean, it'll put down some beads. I mean, I would challenge somebody to break it, One of the common arguments is that it doesn't get penetration. I'll tell you, this flux core welder, I mean, you leave it in a spot too long and you'll burn a hole through whatever you're trying to play with. So, I mean, I guess it's all in the eyes of the beholder, but, me, the other 98% of the world, and probably somebody in outer space, I mean, I'm telling you, this little 110 plasma, or 110 titanium flux 125 welder, it'll get it done. But for one of my first projects, which I mainly do grading and land clearing and drainage projects and things of that sort, but I really needed to make a stand to hold this thing. So I guess for this video, basically it was just making a stand to hold my GoPro basically when we're out doing projects. But I just wanted to take a second to show what I found about this little 110 flux core welder. Because for me, and like I said, I got a stick welder, and that stick welder, I'm not a great stick welder, but like for all the fighting and working and half a dozen rods that you throw away because you just use the first half of it or whatever, and then you can't get that thing to start again. This right here is just, it's just a wonder maker. It really is. You change the tip out and put that bigger wire in there. You'll be welding stuff. This is, there's no difficulty in this. And I usually go a little wider when I do my welds. And I say that meaning, if I should have had some stuff laid out. If I got two pieces of metal laid side by side and I'm welding them together, instead of just like staying right on the line, kind of going side to side, I'll kind of do a little wider sweeps in there, and I'll just kind of slow my pace down, and I'm just going side to side, just dragging real slow, and you'll see that heat bubble just kind of slowly pulling with it. Like I said, this example right here, and this is 3/8 plate. There ain't really nobody, unless you're doing some epic stuff welding, more than 3/8 plate. But we'll get started. That's about all of this video. I'll try to, I'm kind of new to this. I took some pictures of some other things, and I may try to get a picture of that spool wire that I bought. It's on like one brand on Amazon. It's like I think it's like Blue Devil or something like that, but it's 0.04 wire, and you just got to make sure you buy the flux, or they call it flux core, which is basically means it's wrapped with the gas so that it doesn't make so much corrosion or whatever around it. So we'll turn this on. It'll probably be loud, and I thank you for your time. Should have got the brush out, but if you look at that, for what it is, you just can't beat the simplicity of the flux core welder. Like I said, you're gonna have some haters. You always got to kind of hit it with the wire brush and kind of clean it up. But it's just the simplicity of it. Basically, what I was making here is basically just had me a piece of angle, and I weld me a little footrest to kind of push it into the ground. I'll probably kind of cut a corner, and I was going to weld this plate on top because I got one of them little GoPro suction cups. That way I can just, just suction cup it on top of that and put this in the woods when we're doing projects to kind of, that way we can videotape a little easier. There's something else I want to point out too. You know, if you're welding with a stick welder or, you know, whatever, you know, if you're welding something thin and you know, you want to kind of go around it, and when you get to that corner or whatever, if you've got a stick welder, I mean, it will just melt that damn thing off. I mean, it'll just be gone. And you know, that's another benefit of the flux welder. I mean, it just, you know, it's just really nimble. You know, and I wouldn't weld something, you know, if I had something that was going to involve my life, I mean, in that situation, I'd probably take it to a professional, just let somebody else weld it. But I mean, if it really come down to it, I mean, like I said, you just check that out. I mean, it's super simple. You'd be meeting welder people, they'd be talking, they'd be, you know, like I said, they act like they'd be saving lives or something. And I mean, this is the simplest thing ever. Just a 110 flux welder. So I thank you for your time. I'll put some more videos. I've got some other cool stuff I want to show. But this was one of the first things I want to start with, is building a stand. So I thank you for your time.